it is renunciation and attainment of self-liberation. But then there is a question, how is this different from actions that people do for self-aggrandizement, because the focus of actions is self and not the society. So the moment you think about your self, or the moment you put yourself above everything else, your spirituality is lost. You know, there is an Urdu couplet which says, मिटा दे अपनी हस्ती को अगर कोई मर्तबा चाहे कि दाना खाक में मिलकर गुलो गुलजार होता है. The seed, it flourishes. The seed, it flourishes, it becomes a tree only when it loses its identity. So you have to be committed fully to your work. Work is worship. So according to me, the goal of spirituality is not self-aggrandizement. It is social upliftment or social change, making this society a better place to live. Go to the next one. I'd request ladies and gentlemen over here to read this. It says, our earth is degenerate in these latter days. Bribery and corruption are common. Children no longer obey the parents, and the end of the world is evidently approaching. Can anyone guess what can be the likely date of this quote? I think you have guessed it right. A little less than that. It is more than that. A little more than that. This is, in fact, you know, the same quote I read at an international conference, and I asked the people, can you guess the likely date? Someone said 2000, someone said 2005, someone said 2001. Then go to the next one. Yes, go ahead. Take it.
Next.
No, it's there. It is not an expression of anguish of some modern day statesman. It is an inscription on an Assyrian city tablet dating back to 2800 BC. That means 5000 years. So you are right. Conceded, you are right. As quoted in the Times of India on one of its top corners, which it usually does. Now, what is the implication of this? According to me, it's very simple. The implication is that in the 5000 years, nothing has changed, except technology, of course. Nothing has changed. And this is supported by research. If you have read Luthans, Fred Luthans, the famous celebrated author in organization behavior, his book Organization Behavior has in the very first chapter, it is given that you can take man out of the Stone Age, but you cannot take Stone Age out of the man. Luthans, not me. Fred Luthans. So naturally, something is wrong somewhere. Go to the next one. The obvious conclusion then, the world has hardly changed in these 5 millennia. What about those lessons on truth, integrity, morality and filial piety? What about education, society, laws and codes of conduct? They are all there. Every day, right from the day one in the school, we are taught some very basic lessons. झूठ बोलना लोभ पाप का मूल है. Lying is a sin, for my friends who cannot understand English, Hindi. Lying is a sin is the basic lesson we learn in the schools. And then greed is the root cause of all sin. It still continues. Why do you think every 5, 10, 15 years the share market collapses? 1929, same story. 2008-9, same story. So I think the paradigm needs to be changed. The paradigm needs to be changed. Now the question is how? Next one. But before that, I'd like you to take back to the history. So if that Assyrian tablet was not enough, Holy Bible, it says that there was a law, the first law, one which God made after He made Adam and Eve. The first law was that you are not supposed to eat that fruit, the forbidden fruit. Ironically, the first law to be broken was that. That is the tragedy. So if we believe in the holy book, the first law to be broken देते हैं कि हम अपना काम ईमानदारी से करेंगे. It's a matter of shame. We have to swear that we will do our work honestly and diligently. What more a proof we want that this kind of a seminar is needed more and more. So we have to focus on the individual. We have to focus on doing our duty honestly. You know what is the biggest spirituality? If all of us did our duties honestly and diligently, that's the highest form of spirituality, and there will be no problem. There will be no problem. But the problem is that for that also we have to take an oath. For that also we have to take an oath. And to be reminded that we should take our job seriously and do it honestly and diligently. So the problem is that we have started teaching values in the management classrooms. We have started teaching values in the engineering classrooms. But what has happened? It has become a subject for essay writing, because in most of the engineering classes it is a non-credit course. So the student comes, he is not bothered about even the attendance. Only if you are teaching some other paper, then he is bothered about that, because you will be penalizing him there. In management, of course, we have introduced some papers on values and ethics, but they are also by and large a part of the syllabus in most of the institutions rather than a full course.